Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about Harriet Tubman and her amazing life. Harriet was born around 1820 in Dorchester County, Maryland. Her parents, Benjamin Ross and Harriet Green, named her Araminta Ross, nicknamed Minty. At just 12 years old, she stepped in between a slave owner and a slave having some sort of argument. The slave owner ended up throwing a rock and it hit Minty's head instead of the slave's. She suffered from narcolepsy and headaches for the rest of her life, and also vivid dreams and visions. In 1844, Minty married a free black man, John Tubman. Their marriage struggled. She changed her name from Minty Ross to Harriet Tubman. Soon she found out her brothers, Ben and Henry, were going to be sold, and she wanted to escape. On September 17, 1849, all three of them escaped the plantation. Her brothers, however, wanted to go back because they were scared. Harriet persevered. She ended up going 90 miles north, alone, to Pennsylvania. When she got there, she worked as a housekeeper. Soon she realized she wanted her family with her, and so she went back down south, alone, very bravely. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, Harriet was recruited to assist fugitive enslaved people at Fort Monroe. She worked as a nurse, cook, and laundress. She used her knowledge of herbal medicines to help treat soldiers and enslaved people. In 1863, Harriet became head of espionage scout network for the Union Army. She provided crucial intelligence to Union commanders about Confederate Army's supplies and troops. She also helped liberate enslaved people to form Black Union regiments. After the Civil War, Harriet married former enslaved man and Civil War veteran Nelson Davis. They adopted a little girl named Gertie. Harriet remained illiterate, yet toured parts of the Northeast, speaking on behalf of the women's suffrage movement. She also worked with noted suffrage leader Susan B. Anthony. Harriet Tubman died on March 10, 1913, but her legacy lives on.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to give a story about Marsha P. Johnson. She was born 1845, died in 1992. She's a well known gay lesbian activist, identified as a queen. In 1969, was in the Stonewall protests. They were in New York City. Very popular, well known gay bar in the area between June, July 1960s. The police came in and raided and beat a lot of the uh, gay lesbian community in Main Street America and blamed them, for so the LGBTQI community looks very up to the Stonewall riots. Before then, many people were abused. Police weren't accounted for their abuse towards people. Many people were died. Holes in their left dead with holes in their head. Some possibly suicide. We weren't sure, but there weren't actually any toxicity reports. So to this day, we still don't understand that why those things happen. But Marsha P. Johnson was well known. She was very educated. But the P, why the P? P standard for something.
Sanchez, the principal at this school, and I've been asked to join the meeting between Miss Washington and her student Kelly and her mother, Miss Brickner. I do not sign, but I do wish to learn.
Hi, I'm Miss Washington, and I'm one of Kelly's teachers. I sign with my deaf students in class, but I'll be using English for today's meeting. Been having some concerns about Kelly, and so we're going to meet with her and Miss Brickner to see what we can figure out.
Miss Brickner, Kelly's teacher wanted us to meet with you to discuss some concerns with Kelly. Miss Washington, could you share what your concerns are?
Yes, I'm concerned about Kelly's ability to pay attention during class. A few of her classmates and I have noticed her being distracting by talking to her while I'm teaching, tapping a pencil on the table, or making other noises. Sounds can be distracting to other students during class. I've also noticed she tends to be on her phone quite a bit, or she's staring at the clock or zoning out, and that's happening quite a bit.
Yeah, explain why. No, I'm just tired. Class is so boring. I'm just like, I'm bored. Mom said, calm down.
Kelly, it's possible you did not mean to do that. But when people share concerns about that kind of thing, we have to meet with the student to find out what happened and to try to resolve the situation. That is what we are doing here. I understand you're upset, but please try and be patient so we can find out more information about the situation, okay?
Yeah, it feels like maybe she did something wrong. Maybe the students are telling on her that she's in trouble. Yeah, that's it. The students, think I'm bad, but I'm good. I've been doing good. Oh, I get it. I remember you felt that situation like it was your fault. Like they made it feel like it was your fault. Yeah, something like that can
Kelly,
student.
when more than a few students mention it, there's typically something going on. And I've seen it happen while I'm teaching. Listen, you're not in trouble and you're not being punished. We just want to try to solve this issue.
I just remember that Colin had come up to me and asked for help for math, and I didn't know how to talk to her or them, and I didn't know how to help them. Was I doing wrong? I wasn't. It was like all of them. They were all doing the same
Kelly,
thing.
I love that you are trying to help another student, but if they're having problems and they don't understand the material, they need to come talk to me.
Now remember, you are not being punished. We just wanted to let you know that it's important to pay attention in class and not distract other students. Would you like us to review the classroom rules again just to make sure they're clear?
For me, oh, so I'm not in trouble, but sure, I don't mind looking at the rules again. Okay, do you mind the interpreter interpreting the rules for me, please? All right, thank you.
So I think this has been really helpful. Do you have any questions?
No, can I go now?
Sure. Thanks for coming today.
Seriously? Come on. That was mom talking to the daughter.